Hello ladies and welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia for anyone who's new, and this video is one I've been trying for a while to shoot. Today's video is how to replace the elastic on the headbands. Now I'm going to try my best. I think I've finally gotten the way to angle the camera down so I don't have to do things up here, which is really hard. And so I'm going to be adjusting the camera in a few seconds to what I hope is the correct position to show you how I've been replacing this 2-strand elastics that come on the headband. This also works if your elastics come off. So I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to show you what supplies you're going to need. Okay, so first off, you're going to need a glue gun and a glue stick. It doesn't take very much glue to do this, so this is way more than enough to do one. This probably 10 of the headbands. So the hot glue gun and the glue stick, you're going to need elastic. Now, the elastics that I'm using depends on, or the elastic that I'm using depends on the type of headband that I'm using. If the headband that I'm using, what I mean by that is how wide the headband is. If it's a very thin end, let me pull one out really quick that I switched. If it's a thin headband, like this one's very, very thin. I use a thinner, this is an 1/8 inch braided elastic. So that's what I use for the thin ones. For the thicker, heavier ones, I use a thicker elastic. Also, put this away. If I have here on the back, this is, well, was white, I replace with a white elastic. If the backing is black, I replace it with a black elastic. That just kind of, it just for aesthetic reasons. You don't have to be as obsessive as I am with it, but you'll definitely need elastic. Let me open this one up. I have here, I have the black elastic. I believe this is 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. I can't remember what this one is, but I think it's, I'm going to say 1/2 inch. This one is 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1/2 inch elastic. I'm using black today. I also have it in white in my collection for those white headbands. But for today, I'm going to be using the 1/2 inch. You could probably use 1/4 inch as well, but this is what I have on hand. It's a nice stretchy. This one is a woven type. This one is just too stiff for me, and it's also kind of small. So what I do, I'm going to wind this one up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this camera angle. It'll take me a second to do that. And then I'm going to show you a couple more things before I start working with this. Okay, I'm just going to tilt this down. I use another elastic. Hopefully this will hold the camera up. And a coffee cup. Okay, that should hold it. Okay, now I have here the headband. What I'm going to do, I forgot to say scissors. You're going to need just a pair of snips to cut your elastic. All right, so what I'm starting to do is this back piece here, I'm going to be pulling this off, gently removing this. Not all the way, but just enough so that it exposes the elastic. Now I'm going to be attempting to see if I can pull those off. Sometimes I can just grab the elastic and pull it off. Other times I need to grab a tool to help. I'm thinking these will come off really easily. There we go. There's one. And I'm using my thumb so that I don't separate the beading or damage the beading from the back. So I'm just putting my thumb here and I'm pulling with the other. There we go. Okay, so that's snatched a little bit more than I wanted for it to snatch. But now you're left with this piece here. It's all, this is the backing of the beads. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to pull this piece back like so. And I'm going to grab, because this on this side, you'll be able to see, hopefully, there's a little bit of a loop here. I'm going to grab it by the loop and I'm just going to pull gently using my thumb as pressure here at the base so that I'm not damaging the headband. And then I have separated the elastics like so. Okay. Now I'm going to take, for a measurement, I'm going to make it slightly larger because this is a little bit smaller than I would like it. This part is where you have to, it's individual as far as length. If it's just that you don't like that the elastic is too stiff, then you're going to just measure out from this end to this end and cut your piece of elastic this length. If it needs to be slightly larger, then you're going to cut it out slightly larger. It all depends on your comfort when wearing it and the size of your head. Now this one I'm going to cut out slightly larger because it's just a tad too tight. So I'm going to use my elastic, original elastic. I'm going to hold this to the end, do the measurements. Okay, now I'm going to cut it out just slightly larger. Too big and it'll fall off. But here we go. Just giving it a trim. Now this side's going to be, just trim off that one little tiny piece here. Okay, I think my hot glue gun is ready. Set this on the floor. Okay, set this one on the floor. All right, I do keep these for other things, so I'm going to put this aside for my next project. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take the glue gun and I'm going to place a little tiny bit of glue. I don't want to put it on the very end. Don't want to put it all the way out here. I want to put it back in here. And just spread it out just a little bit, not a ton. You don't want it oozing out the sides. Okay, I'm going to take my elastic and keeping it in just a little bit, just like so. This is how I press it in. Now I want to have, you can see the elastic, here's the end of the piece. I want it in about half an inch, between 3/8 and a half inch. I want it inside here because it'll give it more stability. It'll be, it'll wear better. Now it won't pull out as quickly. Okay, so I'm going to take, to replace this piece over the elastics, I'm going to do a couple of dots of glue, small dots, not too much, and then I'm just going to push this down to seal it and hold it in place. Okay, and this is the first side. Very easy peasy. Okay. All right, now when I move to the other side, I want to make sure that this elastic doesn't get all twisty. So I'm keeping it flat and I'm bringing it around, so you can see, bringing it around to the other side and just giving it a go, just giving it a look-see. So I'm going to stick it here and make sure that it's all in one direction. Okay, now I'm just going to be repeating the same thing I did on the other side. as far as the glue. Right here. Okay, just like so. There we go, pressing it down. All right, now I'm going to let this set for a minute. Okay. And then I'm going to do the dots again. Oops, that was a lot of glue. Just like so. I'm trying to, okay. I'm going to fold this piece back down like this. And give it a good press just to make sure that it is stuck there good. Now, if I did this correctly and don't use too much glue, there's not going to be a lot of the glue strands to clean up afterwards. There's always a couple, but there's not going to be a huge amount of hot glue threads. Now, there are a lot of other glues that you can use, Gorilla Glue, and other kinds of glues. But I like hot glue because I'm less likely to glue myself to my project. Okay, it's also quick drying, quick setting, so that I could just replace this right now. And when I'm wrapping in a couple of minutes, I could totally use this. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to flip the screen back up. Okay, now I apologize for it taking so long to figure this stuff out. This whole new camera angle stuff really is beyond me sometimes. I can visualize it, but getting it from here to out here sometimes takes me quite some time to do, and a lot of trial and error. So I hope this has been helpful, and again, I apologize for taking so long to get this one up. I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday, and I will see you in the next tutorial.